They employ so many people. They're one of the reasons people come to New York and stay in New York, because they come together and congregate. It's not just the food, great as it is, it's an experience. And they are one of the backbones of our economy, and along with our stages and our arts areas, they are suffering the most.
How's everybody doing today? Now this is your third stimulus check update and stimulus package update. A lot of news coming from Congress, everybody, in regards to our third stimulus check and the third stimulus bill. I'll be giving away a total of $500 in free Amazon gift cards. And best of all, everybody, I will not be choosing just one winner. 5 of my subscribers will receive a free $100 Amazon gift card. Now to enter my giveaway, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel, turn on post notifications, give this video a like, and leave me a comment down below. Now for a stimulus check news.
I have particular sympathy for small business people. My dad was a small business person. He struggled. He paced the floor Sunday nights at 2 a.m. because he hated going to work. Now his business was a little different than the restaurants, opposite a little. People have not been going to restaurants. They have ongoing expenses. They have leases. They have rent. They have insurance. And they want to keep their employees. Because a restaurant, as Amanda will tell you, is sort of an organic thing. Sorry. A restaurant's sort of an organic thing. In other words, the chef and the people who work under the chef, the waiters, the managers, the maitre d', the owners, they all work together. So keeping the employees employed is good for the economy. It's also good for the restaurant as well, as Amanda or any restaurant can tell you. And so we have to help our restaurants. Here's the good news. I've worked very hard to get the Restaurants Act and the upcoming COVID bill, and it was added on the Senate floor last week. It should be added to the House this week, and then when we do the final bill, I expect to be in it. It's bipartisan. It was the first bill as majority leader, the first amendment I put on the floor. As majority leader, I have the ability to determine what goes on the floor of the Senate, and the first bill I put on was the Restaurants Act, sponsored by Roger Wicker, a Republican of Mississippi, and Kirsten Sinema, a Democrat of Arizona. So it's bipartisan and it has big support. What it would do if you put $25 billion aside for a 6-month grant to restaurants. They're in debt, they don't have loans. And the grant is very flexible. It can be used to pay the employees. It can be used to pay the rent or the insurance or PPE, which of course Amanda still has to make sure is here. So it's very flexible and very tailored to what the restaurants need. It runs through September. Now, if the COVID crisis is still going by September, I believe we will have strong bipartisan support to renew it, and I would fight to do that. And the bottom line, in another way, is this. Since this is bipartisan, it has a much greater chance of passing and moving through the House and the Senate. Okay, I think I have most of the major points. Oh, yes. This report about our restaurants right here shows how many will close. Thousands have closed already in New York State. Thousands and thousands more. This is crunch time. Between now and next September is crunch time. Hopefully, by September, we will have the vaccine and enough people with the vaccine that restaurants will be able to open and New York life will come back to what it is. But New York can't live without its restaurants. Our restaurants can't live without aid. We're getting them the aid. That's the good news. Okay? I think I covered what I'm supposed to cover, although Angelo, I'm sure, has some very good lines in here that I'm leaving out.
That's fine. We'll just wrap it up. I mean, I think you did. We'll do the questions on restaurants.
Oh, 2 things. The maximum grant is $5 million per restaurant, $10 million for a chain, and if you own more than 20 restaurants, you can't get it.
Now folks, as Democrats try to push Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion plan through Congress, some states are finally taking matters into their own hands by sending out stimulus payments. Everybody tell me in the comments down below, do you think that all 50 states should be sending out their own stimulus check to eligible residents? Leave a comment down below saying yes or no. Around 5.7 million Californians are expected to get the $600 one-time direct payment, everybody. That's according to Newsom's tweet on Thursday. And in the state of Maryland, around 400,000 residents will receive a $300 payment per individual and the $500 payments for a family. That's according to the office of Governor Larry Hogan. Now, in both states, the direct payments will go to people who claimed earned income tax credit. In California, taxpayers with individual tax identification numbers, or ITI, or ITINs, would also qualify for the payments if their income is below $75,000. Tell me, folks, in the comments down below, are you eligible for a third stimulus check if you live in California or Maryland? Now, Maryland residents would qualify for payments if they earn up to $50,954 with 3 or more qualifying children, $47,440 with 2 qualifying children, and $41,756. Now, this payment will begin flowing to Marylanders this week.
Texas. The bottom line is Texas thought it could go at it alone and built a system that ignored climate change. It was not what's called resilient. And now Texas is paying the price. I hope they learn the lesson. When we build power, when we build anything now, we have to take into account that climate change is real, or people will be caught the way the people in Texas were. When I wrote the Sandy bill, $60 billion for New York, we made sure everything was resilient. When they built back the subways, built back this, built back that, they were going to be resistant to climate change changes. And we have to do that. That's Texas. Yep. Second, Zients and the vaccine. So I spoke to Jeff Zients. He's the czar, so to speak, of getting the vaccine out. I told him 3 things. New York needed more vaccines. New York needed communication with the federal government, and they needed advance notice. These are how many vaccines we expect to have this week, next week, etc., so they could plan. Now, in a couple of months, within a couple of months, the federal government, even sooner, is going to set up its own centers, and it will avoid these problems. But for the moment, the Trump administration had no vaccines, no accountability, no communications. Zients promised me New York would get more vaccines soon, and that there would be far more communication and accountability. What was the third topic?
Senator, it's the week ahead overall, a summation of the bill.
Yes, and this little bit relates to...
And you could throw an OMB into that.
Okay. Oh, that's different.
Yep.
Okay. So we have on, excuse me. So this week, the House is marking up the $1.9 trillion COVID bill. Then the Senate will. The bills are very similar. I've had a lot of say in these bills, and I'm always fighting for New York in these bills. There will be good state and local aid, up to there will be $350 billion of state and local aid.
There are several ways that qualifications could change with a third stimulus check. Joe Biden's proposal also includes a payment of up to $1,400 for all dependents, no matter their age, to be added on to the household's total. So if you do support an adult dependent and you're an SSI recipient, you may be able to get a higher stimulus check balance in the next round. That's all the news in today's video.